Every longevity influencer on the internet will tell you to skip lunch. I eat a full meal at 12:30 every single clinic day, and I'm going to explain exactly why. This is what I actually eat on a 14-hour day when I need my brain working at full capacity for every consultation. Some of it will surprise you. If this is your first time here, welcome. Every Saturday I share something personal from my own practice and protocols. If you find it useful, subscribe. And if you want a snapshot of where your own health stands, the Executive Longevity Scorecard is free and takes 8 minutes. Link in the description. Right, let me walk you through my day. I wake at 5:45. I do not eat for the first 90 minutes, but not for the reason most people assume. This is not about intermittent fasting as a philosophy. It is about cortisol timing. Your cortisol peaks naturally in the first hour after waking. It mobilizes glucose and signals your body to be alert. Eating immediately, particularly anything with a high glycemic load, blunts that natural response and creates a spike and crash cycle before you have even left the house. So my first 90 minutes are water and 1 black coffee, timed deliberately. I have my coffee around 7:15, not the moment I wake up. Caffeine too early blocks adenosine receptors that are not fully loaded yet. You get less benefit and build tolerance faster. 1 cup, not 3, 8 o'clock, first meal. And most executives get this completely wrong. They either skip it, running on coffee until noon, or they eat something that sends their glucose through the roof. Toast, cereal, a fruit smoothie that is essentially liquid sugar. Then they wonder why they cannot concentrate by 10:30. My first meal is built on one principle: protein first, everything else after. 3 eggs, scrambled or poached, with spinach, half an avocado, and a small portion of smoked salmon. No toast, no orange juice. The protein and fat combination does 2 things that matter for a long working day. First, it provides a slow, steady release that sustains cognitive function for 4 to 5 hours without a glucose spike. Second, protein triggers satiety hormones, cholecystokinin, peptide, YY, that eliminate the mental distraction of hunger during morning consultations. I need to be fully present with every patient. I cannot afford to be thinking about food at 10:30, 12:30, a proper meal. And here is where I disagree with a lot of my colleagues in the longevity space. Many of them advocate extending the fasting window through the afternoon. For some people, in some contexts, that can be appropriate. But for a physician running back-to-back consultations that demand empathy, pattern recognition, and precise clinical judgment for another 7 hours, skipping lunch is not discipline. It is a performance liability. There is a 2019 study from the University of Dundee showing that steady glucose availability directly affects complex decision-making and executive function. Not glucose spikes, steady availability. If I fast through the afternoon, I am making clinical decisions on compromised hardware. I am not willing to do that with someone's health. My midday meal, a large mixed salad, and I mean it covers the entire plate, with a palm-sized portion of wild salmon or organic chicken, extra virgin olive oil, and occasionally a small amount of sweet potato if the afternoon is especially long. I aim for at least 200 grams of mixed vegetables at this meal. The fiber slows gastric emptying, the polyphenols support the gut microbiome, and the sheer nutritional density provides the raw material for sustained neurotransmitter production through the afternoon, 3:30, the moment that determines whether you finish the day sharp or finish it depleted, and the moment where most executives make the same mistake every single day. They reach for coffee. After about 2 in the afternoon, that is a mistake for most people. The half-life of caffeine means it will still be in your system at bedtime, degrading the deep sleep that is supposed to repair you for tomorrow. You know this from Tuesday's video on what your annual health check misses. Sleep architecture is one of the systems that deteriorates first when the fundamentals are wrong. Instead, I have a small handful of walnuts, about 30 grams, and a cup of green tea. The walnuts provide omega-3s and a slow energy release. The green tea contains L-theanine, which promotes alert calm without the cortisol spike of coffee. Together, they carry me through the final 3 to 4 hours of clinic without compromising tonight's sleep. I also take a 10-minute walk outside if my schedule allows, not for exercise, for circadian signaling. The afternoon light exposure supports melatonin onset timing later that evening. A 10-minute walk at 3:30 is a direct investment in tonight's sleep quality. By 7, my last patient has left. And this is where most executives make their biggest nutritional mistake of the day, eating their largest meal late, often with alcohol, and going to bed before digestion is complete. My evening meal is deliberately lighter than lunch: grilled fish, usually sea bass or cod, with steamed broccoli, courgettes and olive oil. Simple, intentionally simple. If the day has been particularly demanding, I might add a small portion of brown rice. That is it. I eat by 7:30, nothing after 8. That gives me at least 3 hours between my last meal and sleep, which allows proper gastric emptying and prevents the elevated core body temperature that disrupts deep sleep. And one thing I never do on a clinic night, I never drink alcohol, not because I am opposed to it, because the data on alcohol and sleep architecture is unambiguous. Even one glass of wine reduces REM sleep by up to 20%. On a night before a 14-hour clinic day, that is a trade-off I am simply not willing to make. Let me be quick about what never appears on a clinic day, and I want to be clear, this is not about purity. This is about giving my brain the raw materials it needs to do what I am asking it to do for 14 hours. Bread or processed carbohydrates in the morning, the glucose spike and crash is incompatible with precise clinical thinking. Fruit juice, concentrated fructose without fiber, a metabolic insult dressed up as health food. More than one coffee, and nothing caffeinated after about 1 o'clock, anything with added sugar, and ultra-processed food of any kind, not because I am a purist, because I see the biomarker impact of ultra-processed food in my clients every single week, and the evidence on systemic inflammation is now overwhelming. If you are running 14-hour days and expecting elite cognitive performance, your nutrition is either supporting that or undermining it. There is no neutral position. If you found that useful, subscribe.